Peace to all you guys. How's everyone doing? Jeremy again here with Consciousness Awake. In this video, I will be responding to the last poll. I brought my phone up real quick here with the. I have my phone out here real quick with the last poll I did about a day ago. And I was asking which video you'd like to see next. And most of you picked to watch all the videos or for me to upload videos on our crystals, part of the New Age movement. No. Well, real quick here, crystals, the energy from crystals has been harnessed and been used in rituals and magical practices and healing for thousands of years. Ancient Sumerians, ancient Egyptians, we're talking thousands of years, even before ancient Egypt. Crystals have been used for spiritual reasons. No, crystals are not part of the New Age movement. New Age movement is a new spiritual movement that just started in the recent decades. They're just using crystals within their practices, but the usage of crystals and the power of crystals has been used for thousands of years, as I just mentioned. So no, it's not part of the New Age movement. They're just using crystals within the movement. And then you voted for one of my favorite breathing method techniques for getting out of body. So I'll do that video probably next. But a lot of you did vote for how to self-induce the hypnagogic state, to use your awareness to get into hypnagogic state, to utilize that for astral projection or out-of-body experiences. So I'm going to make a video about that right now. And not many of you really pick the Hermetic philosophy's description of God, the all from pre-ancient Egypt. So maybe I won't do a video on that since only 6% of you actually picked that, but maybe I will. But right now, let's focus on the hypnagogic. Let me put my phone down. So the hypnagogic is this really lovely, wonderful altered state of consciousness when you're in that fine state between being awake and your brain and body falling asleep. In other words, as I've talked about before, your consciousness is essentially, for the most part, consciously aware in the wakeful state, but your brain and your body is essentially falling asleep. And so we go through this kind of really short altered state when we wake up in the morning after sleeping, and it also happens as we are going to sleep in the early evening or midnight or whenever you go to sleep. So there's two different parts to it. In this exercise, as I mentioned in that poll, I want to show an example of how to self-induce hypnagogic state. Some people call it the hypnagogic state with a ga instead of a go, but when you look at the actual spelling of the word, it should be pronounced hypnagogic. And it's essentially just a hypnotic state, a trance-like state. If you look at it that way, from my experiences with self-induction of the hypnagogic state to get out of body, essentially you're putting yourself in that pristine moment that wonderful moment where you really don't have any thoughts. There are no thoughts. You're going through some, you're seeing imagery. They call it hypnagogic hallucinations, but they're not necessarily hallucinations. I mean, you're seeing geometrical patterns and beings and this and that. I think that when you're in that right state and you're awake and you're getting into that hypnagogic state, these images and these patterns and things you're seeing in front of you, you're not really seeing it with like your physical eyes. you're seeing it more like with your like with your pineal gland, with your third eye, with your spiritual eye, like your soul. You're seeing with your soul eye, like you're seeing it. You're seeing something non-physical. That's my point. And also, some people say that sleep paralysis is like the same thing as the hypnagogic state, or that trance-like state. It kind of is, because I've had hypnagogic imagery and those types of things in conjunction during sleep paralysis, but it's considered two different things. It's considered two different states. So from my own research, from looking that up, sleep paralysis is not the same thing as hypnagogic state. But they can just essentially happen sometimes, at the same time. So I think that's why people just have those experiences, and they just automatically associate both of those different states as the same thing. But they're individual. They're different types of states. So how do we induce it? I would recommend definitely trying to do this kind of thing, in the early morning hours, after your physical body has already had 4.5, 5 hours of sleep or so, and then getting up for a little bit, and then laying down, preferably just laying down on your back and just relaxing, doing your preferred breathing exercises and whatnot for a few minutes to get your body into the relaxation state, which is obviously essential with any of this stuff, really. And what you want to do is you want to practice using your awareness, your mental awareness. So what you're actually using is the awareness of your consciousness, of your soul. Remember, your soul is your consciousness. So you're essentially using your soul, or let's just say consciousness, to visualize a certain part of your human body. So what you're really doing, though, is you're just trying to narrow down your thoughts, and you just want to kind of let any outside thoughts, whatever they are, positive, negative, stresses, other people, whatever is going on, you want those just to kind of flow past you. You don't want to really put too much awareness or attention on any of those thoughts. You just want to put your attention, your awareness, focus everything on visualizing in your mind until you can see a certain part of your human body. So, for example, I like to use my hands or my thumb, or like my feet or my toe, because it's something you see a lot. So if you just sit there for a few minutes and just look at your hand, right, or your thumb, and just really kind of absorb what it looks like. And so when you're getting into that meditative state, and you're starting to relax your body, you're doing your breathing exercises, and then you're just focusing your intent and your awareness just on visualizing that part of your body. So again, we spend a lot of time using our thumb, our hands, our fingers, and so it's something we see a lot of, so it's a lot easier to visualize it. So the trick is, though, to visualize it and shift your awareness on that long enough, for at least a few minutes, to where you are literally, in your mind's eye, just seeing your hand or your fingers or your thumb. And once you've visualized it very, very well and you can see it, then move your awareness around your whole human body. Visualize scanning and just kind of hovering, going down to the feet and going up your legs. So it's what this is really doing is really centering your awareness, your consciousness on essentially just one thought. And at least it's something that you can visualize much easier because it's your own body, your own hands, etc. And so once you kind of have that going, once you've practiced that enough, and you're not letting other thoughts, distract or interrupt that exercise of, putting your awareness on a certain part of your human body and visualizing it, really seeing it. Once you've kind of gotten that down, then what you want to do, I think that the next phase of that would be the next step of that, which is what I do, is I'll be visualizing my hand, let's say, right, or my fingers, but then in my mind, I'll start to close and open my fingers, right, like clenching a fist and opening my hand up and clenching a fist, and I'll just go like this, right, but I'm not moving it physically, I'm not moving my physical body at all at that point. I've just redirected my awareness of just focusing on a certain part of the body, and then taking to the next step of actually clenching a fist, opening your hand, closing your hand, and just doing that repeatedly. Or if you're focusing on your toe or toes, you're curling. You're curling your toe. You know what I mean? So you are essentially, again, just getting deeper and deeper into that trance-like state, that meditative state, getting into that hypnagogic state of mind where your brain and your body is like, you're letting go of all of that, and it's just going off into sleep, but you are keeping your awareness fine-tuned enough to where you've gotten to that point of where you are opening and closing your hand, if you're focusing on your hand during the exercise. Okay? And then what happens is you just kind of fall into the imagery, right? The hypnagogic imageries and the patterns and the colors, and you're just seeing all kinds of things with your eyes closed, of course, or with a sleeping mask on over your eyes for blackout conditions, sensory deprivation conditions. And so just go along with those. Don't let the images distract you away from the exercise of how you're focusing your awareness, which is, open, close, open, close. Again, that's just for an example. That's what is easier for me, for my own self. And then as you're doing all of this, you'll slowly just drift more and more into the hypnagogic kind of state, that altered state of consciousness, and you will find yourself in that moment where really you're disconnected from your brain and your body. All of your thoughts and everything is just in void. It just doesn't exist, and you're just there in that moment, just with your consciousness. And that's usually too when you will start feeling a vibrational state, hearing buzzing noises, feeling vibrations in your body. The vibrational state is, and also the sleep paralysis, body paralysis states, etc. They're all kind of like entangled, enmeshed into this whole hypnagogic state also. But remember, they're different states. They're different things. They're just connected, though. And so when you find yourself in that pristine moment of just quiet and clarity, that's what I would consider one of those clean OBE exits. You'll find it very easy to move your awareness and shift your consciousness out of your human form, a part of it, a percentage of it, and move it into your energy body, and start, exploring astral planes, etheric planes, etc., or more, depending on what your intentions are or focuses are. But it's my opinion, though, that as you're doing those techniques, especially the one where you are getting to that second part and you're opening your hand, closing your hand, but you're not doing it with your physical body. It's my opinion, of course, it's my opinion, that you're actually doing it with your energy body. And as you're doing that, you're simply just activating and stimulating the energy body just during the process in general, and that's just my opinion. I'll leave this video at 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. My fellow awakened ones, thank you for watching this. Hit the like button, share if you like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I look forward to talking more about breathing, like my favorite breathing exercise in a future video, or talking about some other stuff. I've had some really interesting out-of-body experiences of late too, ever since the last one or 2 months. Just the energy around me, energy inside of me, all of it just become more intense. So I look forward to sharing some of those experiences too and whatnot. Let me know if you're interested in hearing about that too. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.